Alright, so welcome to Train Station 04, the next part in the tutorial. So, immediately what we're going to do here is, well, first off, red letter day skip. I'm going to say straight up that I'm not really going to go into detail on it. That'll be a separate video, but I'll at least show what it looks like for you with some dev commands real quick. And then I'll go over the other skips for the Alex cutscene that are way easier than red letter day skip. So, what we're going to do for this is I'm going to go ahead and enable the commands here. So I'm just going to type developer1 and then int bbox player. Like I said, there'll be a very in-depth tutorial on this itself. Hopefully, eventually. I already have another tutorial on this as well. You could also check out. It's older, isn't as good as the live tutorial I plan to make, but you know, whatever. So go over here, grab this, and then I go down here. There's an invisible wall to my right. I just dodged to get over here. Just gonna set this bucket to the right spot. And I'm gonna make it float. Basically just by putting it next to as close to the tire as possible without touching it is what I'm doing. And I'm just gonna jump into it at the right angle so it makes me start floating. Then I'm gonna uncrouch. Which now puts me in another state of teleportation. But first you have to go through this Alex cutscene, so that she'll open the path for us for the next map. So we're meeting Alex.
Dr. Freeman, I presume. I better hurry. The Combine can be slow to wake, but once they're up...
And that's done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in this corner, look at this, run forward, jump, and hold crouch to keep my teleport point in the air. And I'm just going to touch it, which will activate another glitch to make me start floating. And I'm just going to be holding the crouch key the whole time to stay floating. And when I don't want to crouch or float anymore, I'm going to release it. So I'm going to tip the hard setup here, and if I don't get it, I'll do the easier setup. I got the hard setup. So what I did there is I actually set my teleport point. You see it right there. And now I gotta hold crouch to keep it in the air. And I have to hold crouch the whole time. So I just had to do some movement to get back here just by b-hopping and get some speed. I will have some easy setups for this in the other tutorial. So I land on this invisible wall, I fall down here, so I can actually make my way back into this window here. Like that. And now I need to be careful not to touch any of the props in this room. For some reason there's a box there. It shouldn't be there, but it's there. And we just make our way in here. So I have to stay crouched the entire time for this, so it's important. And now I need to be careful not to let Alex touch me when she starts walking, and get over here. And you see my teleport point is over there, and whenever I touch a prop, which is what we're going to use as a pallet, we teleport to it, and we'll have whatever speed we had when we teleport, when we set our point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this pallet just inside this level change trigger. Oh yeah, it's important to note that you have to do all this without saves, without loading saves, so otherwise your game will crash. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put it just inside this level change trigger, and I use this stuff at the top right, the command cl underscore show pause space 1, which sets it in the top right corner. And then I look for the angle, then I have the angle like -3 and then -179 as my view angle, and then I'm going to try and get to -7936.04 as my X position. The top left of the thing at the top right is my X position, so I'm gonna get that to -7936.04. I'm just holding D because I'm facing slightly away from the wall to move slowly. I'm just gonna release it, grab it, release it again. As you saw, it bounced. Replacing it, just make sure it's in the right spot. Then, lastly, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna walk forward into it, and then I now have it, and then well, I actually didn't get it, but you get the idea, though. I'm actually like slightly too far to the left. Interesting. I didn't even know that was possible. But if I do no clip, I'm supposed to be here instead with that speed. Like I said, hard trick, but you're supposed to be paused here and you're supposed to go like this, essentially. That's what it's supposed to look like. Land there like that. Like I said, I'll have a whole tutorial on this of its on its own, so I don't really care too much about it. That was just a quick explanation of how it works. The levels, like where I set that teleport point in the previous level, overlaps with the skybox area of this level, and you fly down over here. And you just go over here and you're in train station 06 and we're just in train station 04. So back to the baby routes. Okay. Before I actually have to show a bit of an alternative route starting in train station 02, and the map we're starting on here is actually train station 04 here with this tutorial. So I'm going to show you this strat. So this strat is a viable strat. For kind of a viable strat for a baby. A baby strat would be to do baby clip, which is literally clipping with a baby. I'll show that later. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to touch this trigger. The strat is harder than baby clip, but it's more possible than red letter day skip, and it also will help teach you one aspect of it. So I'm going to run into it, and that will make these APCs move. And now what I have to do here is I have to watch for it. And as soon as it starts turning, it's going to go down this road. It's going to go down this road, and once it starts turning, do a save load. Press your save load key just one time, and it should land in the right spot. So it should look something like this, if I do it right. Like that. So now as you see, it sort of move forward. That's exactly what you want. Alright, so that floaty strat you saw me do with red letter day skip, I'm going to do the same thing here, but I'm just going to use it just purely for clipping into a hallway. So, remember, you want to, well, here's the tire hitbox, it's like off the tire, as you see it's like moving around it. You basically want to be as close to it as possible without touching it. So you sort of learn the feeling for it. And you want to angle it, so you see this like line here, this like texture, like crack texture here. You want to aim it so the prop moves towards it. And what I recommend for getting this is to make a save, like a quick save, walk forward, and if you don't get it, reload that save, adjust your view to try and correct, save again, and walk forward. And remember, you're trying to be as close to the tire as possible without actually touching it. This will make it start floating. So I got it with that save, so I'm just going to move forward and it should float again, like so. So what you're going to do is you're going to have it float forward. And then you want to jump into like the front of it, like the forward half of it. And you're going to just jump crouch into it. So this is kind of a precise jump. This is one of the harder parts of the trick. So you're going to jump when you're basically going to try and land like on this, but like land on the front of the prop, if that makes sense, sort of like this. And this should make you appear in here. So if I actually show those dev commands again, I can actually show you what's happening. So if you saw the red letter day skip, my hitbox clipped through walls when I was in this floaty state. That's just what I'm doing here again. It's just moving down into this hallway, like so. So again, you basically just want to make it so that you sort of like land on that texture while jumping into like the front side of it, of the thing there. If you don't get it, you actually will land here like this, and you'll be here stuck here forever. So careful with that. You have to make sure you do it in just the right spot. So that should work, I think. Ah, no, that was actually too low. Never mind. There we go. That should be fine. Yeah, there we go. So you peer in here, then you go in here, and now you're in red letter day. So what you're going to do is you're going to click new game and click chapter 2. And then you're going to be in the red letter day cutscene. So, like I said, skip for this is really hard. I showed it to you. But now I'm going to show an even easier strat. It requires changing the route a bit, so I'm actually going to go to train station 02, which you should be familiar to, yeah? It's going to be here. So I'm just going to make my way through the level real quick for you. Like so. Whoop, that was movement. Alright, I failed, but whatever. Okay, so starting here, this is where the route gets different. So what you want to do here is when you get over here, you're going to stop by and grab this baby. And come over here, like, and then just continue on and keep the baby. So now that you have the baby, if you're doing the baby strat where you throw the box at the guard so he stops moving, you don't have to do that. You can actually use the baby for that instead. So I'm going to go ahead and show that off here for you. So you can just use the baby like that to stop him in the same way. So you're just going to continue on. Keep the baby with you. Just like that. Continuing on. And now we're back to where we were. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to jump off the roof with the baby. Make our way over here like before. The other strat. And now we need the baby to be... Now we need the baby to be facing the right way. So you want the baby to be facing like this. It has to be in this position. So what I did there is I just ran forward and let it roll on the ground and pressed E to try and get in the right spot. There we go, like that. And then you're just going to be between the R and the K. The R and the K, and you're going to like try and be around 90 degrees. 90 degrees here on this number on the top right. So this command, as again, is CL show pause 1. Here's what it looks like. So this enables the command. So we're going to be around 90 degrees, because it's just, you know, angles. That's close to it. Isn't too precise for it. And you just want to walk into the wall, and you just want to keep holding W into the baby. And what the baby's going to do is he's going to slap you. You want to make sure he's not like wiggling, like rotating while he's on the wall. He wants to be hooked just like that, like hooked onto the wall. And this strat is super random and annoying, so... But it's much easier than the other strat. Yeah, it's not going to work with that, so... Let's keep walking into it until it cooperates. So you just want it to be stuck on the wall, and when it actually will slap you, what you're going to do is you're going to hit your save load keys while holding crouch. So we crouched the whole time for this. And we didn't get it. Like I said, really random. It can get more consistent if you like... You might have to like turn your mouse after it's against the wall. It might help. Who knows? And when it slaps you, eventually, it'll clip you. It'll make you stuck in the prop, which will allow you to do save loads, which will pull you down. This might work. It doesn't look like it's going to. Which means I have to try it again. So just wait for it to slap you. Oh. Oh, that looked like it was gonna work. Usually if it does that little bounce like that, it tends to work right after. There we go. So, okay, now it looks like it might slap you now. And once it slaps you, you start save loading. There you go. That works. If it does like that weird kick, it'll also work. But usually he'll slap you. So you just save load and you start getting pulled down like this. And now it says you're in Red Letter Day. And then you can just do Chapter 2. But make sure you actually transition in this level before you do that. Otherwise your run isn't legit. And that's everything for Train Station 04. Including a quick gloss or a quick rundown. A very fast rundown of Red Letter Day skip. So yeah, that's Train Station 04. Everything to do with that map. Ways to skip it. So, moving on to the next map. Probably Train Station 06. And maybe gloss over a few things in Red Letter Day to keep an eye out for during the cutscene. So, see you in the next part.